Welcome back to Peace, Love and Tarot. This reading is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and it's your weekly reading, Aquarius, for December 23rd to the 29th. This week, Aquarius, we have the Answer the Call Oracle card. We have the Eight of Swords, the Page of Swords, the Queen of Wands, the Knight of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Eight of Cups. So some interesting energies here, Aquarius. Obviously, we have the beautiful Wheel of Fortune, which indicates that divine timing essence at the moment. Strongly getting the vibe that it's time to free yourself from the things that are holding you back, especially the prisons that we make for ourselves mentally, through getting, trapped in victim mentality, that kind of thing, that sort of Eight of Swords energy. It's really time to rise above and move on to bigger and better things, because you are being answered to answer the call, which to me means to get back on your soul's journey, your soul path. If you are unhindered and not held back by, your relationships, your financial means, all of those kind of things, what would you do with your life? That's the question that we're being asked to answer this week. So we'll go to the tarot cards in a second. I'm going to read out that oracle card first to start us off. So, answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? Your guidance is divinely guided. You are being called to answer the call of your soul. It might be scary, it might not make sense, but if you trust your soul's yearnings, you will live a life beyond what your mind could possibly imagine. Answering your soul's calling is not a one-time thing, but rather a lifelong dance. Deep down, you already know what you long for. It's what your soul yearns for. Whatever you're being called to do, this is your calling. Don't overthink it. Don't wait for permission. Just say yes. Most people are waiting for a plan before they take the first step. But intuition doesn't work like that. It takes faith and courage to answer the calls of your soul. And that's why most people don't do it. But you are not most people, Aquarius. It is time, Aquarius, to free yourself, to get back into that position where you can answer that call. And that starts by freeing yourself from the things that are holding you back. The things that are holding you back can be, the stories that we hold about ourselves, the self-limiting beliefs. I'm not good enough, it won't work out for me, I'm not intelligent enough, smart enough, beautiful enough. Why does things always, end up this way for me? All of those kind of things, the being a martyr, the victim mentality. It is time to release that, because these thoughts and ways of being limit us, and they hold energetic space for the good things to come in. Your soul is asking you to dream big and to get back on your life's path and answer the call of what you're truly meant to be doing here. So that starts with freedom and release, to free up the energy in order to really connect with your higher self. You can see this person here is actually bound around the third eye, pretty much the heart and the gut. So what it kind of says to me is that when we are consumed by the negative thoughts, the stories, the triggers, the rackets, all of that sort of stuff, slowly and over time our intuition starts to shut down, and then we kind of lose that connection with our higher sense and our higher self. So it's really time to reconnect. And when we're in that position where we are bound, like this person in the Eight of Swords, we can't hear the call of the soul. So we really need to release from that first, and then we'll be able to hear that call that is asking us to step in a different direction. You can see this person here has a clear path out of this prison of swords, but they can't see it because, like I said, they can't hear the call of the soul because they are bound around, all the intuitive centers. So for me, the Page of Swords is this initial rumbling of change. It's the beginning to take action. It's the beginning of cutting these binds with the sword. The Page of Swords can be known as the Wind of Change card. So in your recent past, or you're on the threshold of this now, I think you knew that it was time to start raising your vibration, to start releasing from the situations that are holding you back. I think you've started to hear that call of the soul, almost like a bit of a quiet whisper on the breeze, but it's building momentum, and it's really asking you to follow it now. You know, you've kind of had this initiation period. It is time for you to actually take the inspired action in order to answer that call, because the universe says that it is time for you to do that. You know, it is, karmic, divine timing. You know, it is destined in a way. In fact, someone commented on one of my videos last week and said there's no such thing as, destiny. There's no such thing as divine timing. I mean, none of us know. None of us have proof. So that's a very big call to say such a thing. However, my personal belief is that there are energetic times where things have the potential energy lined up for you to make key decisions in your life, to end cycles, to start new cycles. But of course, we have free will, and free will is the key that allows us to not move with that energy, to not step into the flow of it, to keep doing what we're doing. So in that sense, we can choose whatever we want. But I believe that, you know, there are certain times where there is energetic potential for change, and that is upon you this week with this Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune is the energy of luck change. It is the energy of karmic completion and reset. So under the Wheel of Fortune, you might be, you know, ending a karmic cycle. Now that could be the karmic cycle of what's kept you small, what's kept you trapped, releasing the patterns, the stories, really transmuting those denser energies. It could be that these feelings come from a relationship or a workplace situation, so you might be changing that or bringing that to an ending because you're feeling that it is the right time to do that, because, you know, you're being activated to answer the call of your soul. And we are closing out a decade, guys, so that is a 10-year cycle of completion. With the last full moon that we just experienced in December, there was actually a lot of processing of the karma of the last decade. So it's been intense energy, but now it's time for that reset. And that Wheel of Fortune is said to have a 10-year energy in itself. So the decisions that you make, the way this wheel falls, could potentially influence your next chapter, your next decade of your life. But I also feel that, if this was the initial rumblings of change and action to shift your situation, this week I feel like that the wheel wants to move fast, because we have that with the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords can be swift change. It can also be a communication coming in that might have a factor to do with this Wheel of Fortune shifting. It can also indicate you, Aquarius, in your air sign glory, ready to get on that horse and charge forward. After a period of being stagnant, of being stuck, I think now you're ready to move, and you're ready to move quickly. That's what I'm really sensing with that. So Wheel of Fortune is here, divine timing for change, divine timing for releasing the things that have kept you stuck, that have kept you small, because you can't answer the call when you're in this energy, and that is what this Wheel of Fortune is asking you to do. So in order to answer that call, Aquarius, you may need to walk away from something or move towards whatever you are being called to move towards. Now, the Eight of Cups is about a situation that had a certain amount of emotional fulfillment, be it in love and business, in friendships, in the home realm. However, there's one fundamental piece of the puzzle missing, and it's like doing that jigsaw puzzle, getting down to those last couple of pieces and not being able to complete the picture, and always feeling, oh, I wonder what it would look like if it was complete. I wonder what the relationship would be like if we had the final cup. So it can be like, okay, we've got, maybe good chemistry and we enjoy each other's company, but we might have fundamental differences in our values or the way we want to raise our children, and that can be a non-negotiable for you. So it's the choice of whether to stay in that situation and accept that maybe you're never going to be able to fully complete the picture as you had hoped, or you go searching for the 9 and 10 of Cups reality. So that's the question there. And in work, it can be the situation where you have you enjoy your role, great colleagues, but maybe there's no progression for you. There's a key piece of that missing as well. You know, again, we've got that link to, now that we've released our intuitive centers and cleared some space, we can tune into the intuition and, you know, from that place make the decision of whether it's right or not to move on from the situation. We have that here with the Queen of Wands, and what I love about the Queen of Wands is that she is a strong visionary energy. So she's the one that's going to guide you on whether to, you know, move forward or not, and how to move forward, because she's all about, again, making instinctual, calculated decisions to move her life forward in the best way for her, so that she can manifest the opportunities and the abundance that she knows she truly desires. You know, she is that fire sign energy as well, can be an Aries in the mix. But she holds that Ace of Wands too. So what it's saying is that it's time for you to take that inspired action to move forward, to leave behind what is no longer serving you, and to move towards your call, whatever that may be for you. So evoke the Queen of Wands this week, Aquarius. She will help guide you towards that. So you might need to have a little bit of a necessary rite of passage or a transition under that Eight of Cups in order to get there. But the Wheel of Fortune is saying, well, energetically, it is time for you to do this, and that timing is on your side. But once again, of course, you have free will, Aquarius. You can do whatever you choose to do, but they just might have different outcomes and different results depending on what you choose. And energetically, you're being invited to move on at the moment. Aquarius, I'm going to leave it there for you. I wish you all the best with it this week. This is the holiday period, or the Christmas holidays, depending on what you celebrate in. I wish you a beautiful time with friends and family, with whatever tradition you celebrate in your belief system. Feel free to leave me a comment, because I always love to know how it's playing out in your daily life. Have happy and safe holidays, and I'll see you back here next year for plenty more readings.